If you're a WhatsApp user, it's likely that you've seen the app's updated privacy policy, which will come into effect next month. The issue with the privacy policy is that you either accept it or you terminate your WhatsApp service. But what exactly does this updated policy mean? Attorney Marissa Longsworth breaks it down.
It basically covers that WhatsApp information can be provided to Facebook. Facebook is the parent company now of WhatsApp, of Messenger, and of Instagram. And so what is happening is that we're starting to see this cross-sectioning of their information and data. And that is affecting, how the information is shared between the different apps. And so one of those impacts that we're seeing has to do with this particular change to the license agreement.
In recent years, WhatsApp has become the most popular mobile messaging service. There are approximately 2 billion WhatsApp users across the world. And if your family, friends, or coworkers are using it to communicate, you may want to keep using the app. But because WhatsApp is not giving users a choice to opt out of this agreement, users are concerned about their privacy on the app. The messaging app says private messages as well as group messages and calls with friends and family cannot be accessed because it is protected by end-to-end encryption. The social media site also clarified that logs of these private calls and messages are not stored. Locations you share nor contact lists are being affected by the changes.
The main change that WhatsApp claims is happening right now has to do with the fact that I don't know if people have noticed recently, but if you go on a business page on Facebook, it offers you a button to click to go straight to WhatsApp with that business, right? So you can click in Facebook and be directed to WhatsApp with that business. So naturally, there has to be an exchange of data and information. Facebook would collect that data to say that the business was clicked by this phone number and they had a conversation. Maybe the business sent you a catalog from Facebook onto WhatsApp to show you the goods and services, because now you have the shop feature right on Facebook as well. So those are the types of interactions that WhatsApp is saying is being covered under this change. They are saying that it is strictly related to business interactions with business pages, but yes, your phone number can be shared with those with Facebook, right? And of course with those businesses as well.
And that cross-sharing of your data with businesses you interact with comes down to revenues for these social media sites. Although it is free to sign up for these apps must find easier ways to earn revenues, and so they monetize the way businesses interface with users of the app, which includes access to your data for customer conversion.
Even though we put a lot of trust in Facebook or WhatsApp when we sign these contracts with them, when we click that I agree button, we are also giving them permission to almost sub-license out our data on trusted terms with those third parties who we don't have contact with, right? The intention, of course, for WhatsApp and Facebook is to use that data for advertising. They claim, and their privacy policy supports that they're not really interested in Marissa Longsworth as a person and herself. What they're interested in is how many hours does Marissa Longsworth spend on Facebook? How many businesses does Marissa Longsworth interact with versus persons? Is she on Facebook more for commercial reasons, or is she on Facebook more for personal reasons?
But if you don't feel comfortable using the app under this new privacy policy, what are your options? There are at least 2 other messaging platforms at the forefront of the end-to-end encryption service. They are Signal and Telegram. But should you go ahead and make the switch?
Whether this can happen to Signal or Telegram in the future, I think it very well can, because what's happening now with WhatsApp is a result of the growth of WhatsApp. WhatsApp started out as a fledgling messenger service. It grew so big to the point that a bigger company took it over to integrate all the apps together. Signal and Telegram could have the same fate at some point in time. It's just a matter of commercialization, if you ask me.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.